mentors to the requirements given by the organizations. And out of this 40 plus, we have like a good bunch of high deep pocket clients as well. We have Physics Wala, we have an academy, we have other big institutes having like 500 to 600 CRs of turnover as well.
Okay. And who are your competitors that you will be working with?
So Sunil sir, to be honestly saying, in B2B market, I am not having a competitor into the mentoring aspect.
It's startup. So without wasting any more time, I would like to invite the founder of Quantel, Mr. Lucky Rohila, to please take over the platform and start with this presentation. Before he starts, I would like to tell you the format of the demo day. First, the founder would present his presentation. Then our financial analyst would come up and explain the valuation and financial projections. After that, we will be opening up the platform for everyone for asking questions from the founders. A humble request from all the participants present here, please keep yourselves on mute and unmute only when the platform is open. Kindly use the raise hand option for asking questions from the founders. Thank you so much. Mr. Lucky, over to you now.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sanjana. Thank you so much for your wise words. And it's been a privilege to, present my startup in front of all of you. Just wanted to ask Sanjana whether my voice is completely audible or should I have to check my,
It's perfectly fine. You can continue.
Sure, thanks. Sure. So I'll not, put in that much of the time. I'll start with the presentation, and meanwhile, I'll initiate with the introduction and everything. Sure. Okay. So first of all, good morning, everyone. And it's been an honor to present my startup in front of you all. And if I tell you about myself, so again, you might have seen the promo video as well about me. But yes, I'll not waste more of your time in the introduction about myself. So basically, if I fasten up the process. So my name is Lucky Rohila. I'm the founder and CEO of Quantel. I graduated, me and my other fellow founder, we both graduated from National Institute of Technology, Kurukshetra in 2021. And this is one of our baby, which we are, which you're seeing in front of you all. So this is what we call ourselves. We are India's mentor network platform, and where you can just have a clear instant access of mentor for your career or for your business growth. So starting up with the presentation, I'll give you the understanding why exactly mentor, where do you find the need of a mentor and why did you start it with this platform? So I'll tell you a very quick story of like 5 minutes, like why we started and, how, both of the founders actually met in the college. So it was our, initial years. We both are from Faridabad itself. And we went into, as I told you, in NIT Kurukshetra. So it was a time when, you're finding your, thought vision, what exactly you have to do in your college time. So I was a kind of a person who was more there into the counseling perspective. I was more active on Quora and other social media platforms because I was a kind of a guy who actually cracked IIT, but because of the branch issue, I was not actually able to enter into IIT. I finally landed into NIT. So my fellow founder has the similar story. So we both shared the same pain and used to counsel a lot of students who were having the similar kind of pains. So this counseling, counseling and having a word with all of these students in first year, second year, we used to have a lot of interest with that. Yes, education system belongs to us, and yes, we can do something into the education system. When we were into the third year of the college, we realized that there is a segment of industry knowledge. So we thought at that point of perspective, a lot of students in the college, I'm not saying about my college itself, all of my friends who were there into other colleges as well, they were facing the similar kind of problem. Even having a lot of knowledge players in India, like having Byju's, Unacademy, Upgrad, and other knowledgeable players who are actually putting, I'm not discriminating the content, but yes, who are actually putting values over their content. But still, there are a lot of students who are facing a lack of, credible opportunities, a lack of, ability to network with the high profile people and grow their career. So a lot of people, even having the accessibility of the content, but still they're not able to access the opportunities. They're not able to access a lot of things in their lives. So we decided, what exactly is the problem they're facing? So even if there are a lot of students who are accessible to the course of DSA for Amazon, any other product company, they're accessible for some other kind of course, but still they're not able to achieve that. So where is exactly the problem which is coming in India at this point of time? So we decided here a lot of players are focusing over the knowledge part, but there is something else as well which plays a very vital role in a career of an individual, or who is actually seeking a growth. It can be an individual, it can be professionals as well. So that particular point is experience, which is not at all being catered by any other player into the market. So because there are a lot of students who are struggling to find out, the right network connects to get into top companies, right network connects to sit with some people who have actually cracked a lot of things. So for example, if I was into my college days, so my network of having connections with, people who are in investment managers at Barclays, people who are sitting into Amazon, Google, that is not that much accessible to me. I need to struggle a lot to find out that, connection. And even I was not sure about the authenticity of the content he will give it to me. So we thought, yeah, what exactly you have to do? So we were, there was a story when we were watching Ramayana as well. So Ramayana is one of our, very, very old ancient grantha, and we used to learn a lot of things from Mahabharata. So when we were seeing Mahabharata as well, we decided, we saw, like, even being one of the mightiest player, Arjun, mightiest player, he had a lot of knowledge. He had a lot of things to understand. He was, even, defeated a lot of big, people at that point of time as well. Still, he need the mentorship of Krishna at that point of time. So mentorship is very intensive, and it actually defines the inner potential of a person to grow from his, 0 level to the level of advance, like 3 level or 4 level. So that is what we thought here in India. We have to come back that mentor system again and make sure that we will give that accessible network connect of highly profile people to, to the people who are actually, struggling to find out a lot of the career opportunities, a lot of rightful opportunities in their life. So this is very true saying, because at that point of time, we also realized that in India, there are only few percent of the people, like only 10 to 15% who are having that accessible connect to grow into their life. Like, you might have seen the people having, if I was a student and my parents are doctors, and my chances of becoming doctor is pretty high because I have a very authentic experience by my parents. But similarly, on a level of another candidate who is not having his parents as, doctors, or is not that much accessible to the connects of doctors, the chances of getting into that is pretty hard for that guy. Even the knowledge is there, but still that experience plays a very vital role. So that point of time, instead, we decided that in third year, we need to create this mentor network, which should be accessible to everyone across corners in India. And that will actually add, very good value in the current education system of India, and can make sure that every student can have the personalized mentoring by the people who have actually cracked a lot of things in their lives. So again, saying, so if I'll tell you, that's the major vision where we started in third year about the, the mentoring system in India. So telling you about, Quantel as well. So let's come to the slide of introduction of Quantel. So Quantel is a mentor network that actually connects individuals as well as organizations with the best fit domain experts to provide a tailor-made mentorship programs. So we have like 101, we have group, we have hybrid, we have progress tracking. You can have like, people, if you want to, if you're cracking for UPSC or RBI exam, you can have people who are IS as 6 months mentor for you. If you're going for, exams like, doctor need, you can have people who are actually cracked it for like 3 months, 6 months of your mentorship. If you're, fighting for getting a job into Google or some good high profile companies, you can connect with those people and learn with their experiences, because that will also give you a rightful understanding and explore a lot of opportunities in your life. So that's what, we do. We connect the people and individuals with the right fit domain experts. So, additionally, if I would say, so our major goal of Quantel is to revolutionize the mentoring industry. And that can only be done with 3 things: making it more personalized, effective, and efficient. So these are the 3 aim goals where Quantel is focusing from day one to make it, a revolutionizing industry in India, because there is no as such player who have catered only into this industry. So moving down to the next slide. So mission, because these 3 statement of mission means a lot to us at team at Quantel, because we have sat in for like many hours to define only these 3 lines, that we need to democratize the access to the mentoring. I'll say it again. So we need to democratize the access to the mentoring, because that's not accessible to everyone. It's very limited. There are only few percentage person, in India who are actually accessible to the rightful connect, where they're getting a lot of experiences and making their career grow exponentially. But what about the other people? For example, I have a very clear start. So there are like, crores of, like, I guess around 1 crore students who go for, higher education or for like jobs every year. But above 80, 85 lakhs, they're not getting job. They're not even getting a job above, 3 to 4 lakhs. Why? Why more than 85% of the 85 lakhs of the people every single year are not even getting a job? Just a simple example of a very small sector of Quantel. Why they're not getting people? They are also accessible to the resources present over there, but still they're not able to understand the actual requirement of the industry. So these kind of people can actually be, scale up by the rightful mentoring, by giving them the Krishnas, which I would say. So that is there where Quantel comes in. So we'll need to democratize the access of mentoring by leveraging the technology, because without technology, nothing can be there. So if we need to democratize the access to the mentoring, we need to leverage the technology and make it more personalized, effective, and accessible. Again, saying these three things are very important, making it more personalized, effective, and accessible. And that's the only way where we can actually make this business grow into so much heights, like a rocket business. Again, vision is to make it, that's what we are saying it from day one, to make it personalized, accessible, and to bring a change in the society where the people are right now focusing over a very stubborn content, which is very much, constant, stagnant at this point of time. So we need to add some, personalized stuff. Like, for example, there is a book, like I can give an example to everyone. So there is a book where only text is written. And there is a book where this text and images with examples, with images or some sort of video, some sort of things is there into that particular book. Everyone will prefer the book which having images and sort of ways to explain those things. So that's where Quantel adds value. So right now, most of the peoples are there into the content, but the experience they are not catering. The access, because of the access they are not having, that experience they are not catering. That's what declining into the education system. So that experience we want to deliver. So that book of which all the pictures are there, all things which makes them interesting to learn and giving them more credible opportunities. Quantel is there. So that's something about our vision as well. Moving down to the next slide, I'll give you a few of the examples very quickly. So for example, there is a guy called Nikhil Suman. So he's working at an average company in Infotech, and he's having an average package as well. Like Signal Infotech, he's working and he's having an average package. Average package can be 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs. And there is a girl called as Anjali Arora, and she's working with Google, having 2 years of experience. And you can see if you can see on the slide, you can see one thing which is very common. The common thing is the background story. Nikhil is also from Tier 3 college. Anjali is also from Tier 3 college. Both have the similar CGPA at the last year. Both are from, CSE background. But still, the only thing which is, change is at the end goal. Both are sitting at a very different places. Having the similar story, but the end goal is different. What if this Nikhil has the accessibility to connect with Anjali? That could actually help Nikhil to to go down into the path and make a tailor-made path for his personal growth. Here, what exactly I have done bad in my path? I was also fighting, I was also learning, but why only Anjali get into that particular connection? So this is one of the example for an individual. Let's take an example for organizations. So organizations, institutes, colleges. So they also struggle for finding rightful mentors with, for their students or for their enrolled students, because they always look for the variety of domains. So like, for example, every institute, every college now say, I'll give you a mentor, I'll give you a mentor. They only give you one faculty. So that's a traditional fit approach. I'll give you one person only who will mentor you. And that person is common for everyone. But aisa thodi na hota. That's not the truth. Everyone have their own shoe size. Aisa to nahi ki there is only one shoe, like shoe with shoe number 8 can be fit with all the Indians. That's not possible. Everyone have their own shoe size. That's a very common example with the area of, accessible mentoring as well. Everyone have their own domain and own quality of mentor that should be personalized to their needs. But, with the traditional fit approach being focused by all the institutes, because there are above 70,000, 80,000 just institutes in the Tier 2 area. There are a lot of, organizations, there are a lot of colleges, and they're still not focusing over the rightful mentoring for their students. So they struggle with finding the mentor. That's why they have the traditional fit approach. What if all of them have the accessibility to connect with these experts, which I have shown below, like the leader in Microsoft, the leader, of the operations in Sadofax. There can be other people as well, like the CFO of SpiceJet. So what are these people having the accessibility where they don't have to manage the accessibility of the mentor for their students? They just have to focus on their own thing. Being college, being an institute, being an organization, focus on what product you're delivering, for the accessibility, for the credibility of your product, to make it more personalized for your students, the effective, knowledge experience, have mentors from Quantel. So this is what the accessibility we give to the organization. Similarly, there is a startup or a corporate company who are struggling for people, struggling for some person who can give them advisory in sales, marketing, who can become, the advisors in their companies. So what if these companies, like majority of the startups face this issue, might be possible. A lot of high-try corporate companies are not facing, but the mid-age, the SMEs are still facing this problem. What if they can be accessible to the people which I have shown below, like a startup who is having just an revenue of 1 CR. Let's take an example. A startup is having a revenue of 1 CR, and founder is itself not a big guy, big shot in sales. Either he has to put a lot of capital, like 25 lakhs he have to put it to find a highly experienced sales guy. I will say don't put that much capital. I'll give you a person like Aman Khajansi is one of our proper sales mentor as well. So he's having 20 plus years of experience and 5,000 CRs of sales he have already handled. I'm not saying he'll make this 1 CR of that sales of that startup to 5,000 CR, but only I can guarantee he can make from 1 to 5, very simply. And that's what we have seen into our case studies as well. So that accessible network should be there. So that's what I'm saying. It's not limited to individuals. It's there for organization. We do it for startups. We do it for all the organizations who are actually looking it for the growth of their, personal business growth. Moving down, so I'll just fit up the problem. So one of the problem is traditional mentorship approach where, they have like one size fits for all approach they are following. So this can lead to, lack of motivation and, they'll not be able to track the rightful progress of their mentees. So that can be lead to the burnout for mentors as well, because there is only one mentor and thousands of students are there. So they're going to give not even the authentic content. 100 students I need to mentor. It's fine. Just do these for everyone. So that traditional fit approach is that's why not helping any of the students at this point of time. Also, many individuals, that's a very clear truth. Many individuals and organization, are facing problems and struggle to connect with the rightful industry mentor who can actually provide them with the relevant guidance. So that's again a very important truth. Moving down to the solution, which is very clear. Mentorship for organizations and mentorship for individuals. Both of them we provide at this point of time. But currently, as if you had seen the promo video as well, we are not doing D2C directly because we have pivoted our part to B2B. So we do B2B and B2B2C. हम organizations के बच्चे या colleges के बच्चों को भी mentor करते हैं, but both of the case organizations pays us, not the individuals. That individuals domain, because that need to create an awareness. जो भी मैंने आपको आगे I'll come down to that particular path as well. Why we have not started initially with B2C, because it takes a lot of time to create that awareness and gives them the credible results. That's why to make a business more sustainable at the initial stage, because we were bootstrapped, to make it more sustainable and reach to millions of the students of mentoring. This is one of the rightest part which I figured out. So for individuals, they can select a customized mentoring plans. Like, I'm not saying I give you a Microsoft guy for just 2 hours. Take him for 6 months. Make a customized mentoring program. So it's not customized that much customized at their levels. So it's like 3 programs are there, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. You can accordingly choose. There will be hours that is defined, like 16 to 18 hours a month that can be added up as per your requirement. You can have 20 hours a month, but not beyond that. So that level of customization is currently there. So we provide users with variety of mentors. We also provide them with the tailor-made mentorship programs that actually help individuals. So we are majorly doing this for colleges and for the edtech organizations have a lot of students. So for businesses as well, we provide them, high profile bureaucrats if they require, if they provide, top quality mentors for various corporates. For institutions, we provide a lot of high quality mentors for their, enrolled students. For employee upskilling as well, we provide a lot of dedicatedly month-long mentors for the employees, for the corporates. So we connect our clients with the most successful mentors in those fields, enabling them the access to the latest insights and the guidance of that particular field. So that's actually helped them grow into that particular domain. So for businesses as well, we are actually doing a lot of things, and that's one of our forte as well. So let me give you a clear example of our business model. So like these are the organizations where there are corporates, there are institutes, there are colleges, there are startups. Simple, very clear, simple model. Number of mentors deployed on a daily or monthly basis. Let's take an example. Physics Wala is one of my client, one of my very prominent client. So let's take an example. Today also, they have taken like 8 mentors from my side. 3 are the current IAS, 2 are someone else, 2 are like AI ML guys, 2 are someone else, depending upon the requirements of different pillars of their organizations. So they have taken a mentor on a daily basis. They've taken 8 mentors from today. For tomorrow, they might take 2. For day after tomorrow, they might take 3. For some of the mentors, they have taken for monthly as well. Like, give me this particular mentor for 2 months. So that's really come down to the clear revenue. We have daily charges, monthly charges, and hourly charges. Simple model. If you take it for daily, give me the daily price. If you take it for monthly, give me the monthly price. Similarly, अगर organization अपने individuals directly अपने students के लिए mentoring देता है, like can be colleges, can be the institutions like Master Union, something like edtech organizations who have like a lot of enrolled students. They can they can allow us to give them the complete packages to their students, like one-to-one dedicated packages, month-long packages. That is also there. Then that comes down to the revenue for us. So that's our complete business model, which is very clearly stated. I know there's a lot of things written into the model, but still to be saying it honestly. So I have written every sort of things over this particular model where we have mentioned the customer relationship, which we have currently with us. We have mentioned the value proposition. I'll explain you into the further slides as well. I've explained you the customer segment. So currently, Quantel have individuals seeking mentorship as their customers, startups, organizations, institutes, corporations, agencies, or agencies or some other corporate institutions who are looking forward for the government guys for the advisory. So a lot of areas where actually the rightful mentors is organically required. So we are catering all these segments at this point of time because we are a sustainable business. And it's important for us because we are profitable from day one. So we always look forward for the segments where there is organic growth for us. So we have only tapped the segment where there is organic growth, and we have not put in penny of the money that much into the marketing because everything is currently organic for us. So the channels also, we do a lot of channels, like we do a seminars for colleges, we do a seminars, institutions, other things. We do partnership with the institutions. We do partnering with the influencers as well. So a lot of these things is there. Revenue structure, I've already told you. So we have like month-long model. We can where we focus over the commission-based model at current basis. Later on, we are looking forward for the subscription model as well. So we are looking forward currently to make an API of our service as well. API of the mentors, complete mentors list that we have. So we'll share the API of our mentors to the platforms. They can just use it for themselves, like white labeling for our mentors. They can do it for their own organization so that we can generate the direct leads, like Razorpay. Razorpay is for payments, Quantel is for the mentors. If any of the organizations is looking forward for the one-on-one relation for mentors for their candidates, they can have our API. So that's also one of the things which we are already in discussion with a lot of big companies. So that's also very preferable for us. So that's a subscription model. So moving ahead, market size, again, mentoring is something very new into the market, and a lot of people are, growing, because currently we are seeing a lot of traction into the mentoring area because students are getting a lot of, this feeling that yes, we need a person to actually define a potential. We actually need some person who can define us with the experiences. Share me an experiential person, because students are sometimes, so my mentor candidate shares me, sir, better than a course, if I pursue a course for like 2 to 3 months for Amazon, rather than I'll just take your mentor for 1 or 2 months, because I know he'll not give me that much knowledge, but he'll give me that much experience that I can cover that course for within 15 to 20 days, because I'll be having an understanding what exactly I have to learn. So having your experience help me make my work more smarter, lesser of my time, and make me more credible. That's what where Quantel comes in. So we are actually very proud of that particular thing. So anyways, market is very big. So currently we have tapped a different kind of institutions and colleges, these kind of segment. But yes, we are looking forward to tap the other segments as well, where there's a lot of requirements for mentors. Currently, as for the Financial Express report, mentoring for Indian, just the SME, this is a $70 billion market, just for the Indian SMEs. So again, saying it's again a very big market currently, and it's going by a CAGR of 38%. So that's also really big. So currently they've just put in up the very, very decent numbers that 50 millions are professionals, 3 millions are corporate coachings and colleges. We have job internships, B school students with 30 million. So again, market size is currently there, but we can actually add a lot of inputs into the different revenue streams as well, which Quantel is currently playing a vital role as well. So currently, if I'll be saying about the traction which is being generated, so we launched into the market by November 2021. So currently the MRR of Quantel, the monthly recurring revenue of Quantel is 35 lakhs from just an average of January to this month, and we are growing at a month-on-month growth of 10 to 15%, which is very good for us at this particular basis. And we have like around 2,500 plus vetted mentors. So vetted mentors, as in where we have the complete details, we have the complete cross verification of all the mentors. We have we have given them a lot of engagements as well, and ties and tested on all our platforms. We have the feedback mechanism system for all these mentors to be there on our platform. So these are like the mentors who are completely enrolled into our systems. And again, to be proudly saying, we have made India's first bureaucratic network as well. So that's also India's first high-profile bureaucratic network that is accessible to everyone. I'm not saying we are the only one who have made a bureaucratic network. There are other bureaucratic network as well, but no one has made it that much accessible to the people in the market. So we have made it accessible for the students who are trying to go into UPSC, trying to go into RBA, trying to go into other government job areas. So that's what one of our forte which we are saying. So again, saying that's one of the bestest thing. And we already have 220 plus B2B collaborations. For this, we are working for the last 1 or 2 years, out of which 40% are paid clients. I'll show you my clients as well, which are very much good into the current industry. Also, about if I say about the Quantel mentored students, so we have like it's just a small number because the slide was not updated. There is above like 5,000 is the less number. We have crossed like 15,000, 20,000 as well. So there are a lot of students at this point of time who have cracked their initial goals. To be saying it honestly, this year UPSC result, rank 1 and rank 2 is also our mentored candidate. So we are also very proud to say, because these are the candidates that we have mentored at the time of the interview as well. So these results have actually inspired us to do more into the mentoring industry and do something big as well, because the type of results which we have seen into the market is actually well going into this current basis. So moving ahead with the client's portfolio. So anyways, which I was saying that the client portfolio is quite good for Quantel. So we have like an academy, physics wala, study IQ, textbook, who are the leading players into the education system. So we also already have the other corporate institutions like 3SC. We have, institutions like Sri Ram, Mundiai. So we are there catered into all the 3 to 4 dimensions, which I was saying to you. So these are some of the feedbacks. So which I was saying about. So rank 1 feedback of this year as well available with us. So last year, this was the last 3, last year rank 3 feedback of, UPSC crack girl, and the other feedbacks as well for the students who say about the mentorship that we have given it to them. So let's come down to the unit economics as well, because I guess that's also one of the vital role which most of you would be looking forward to see. So if we are having an average MRR of 35 lakhs, so if you remove the GST of like 5.5, so we have the cost of service of 15 lakhs. Cost of service is the payout that we give to our mentor. So that's around 15 lakhs. If we deduct that as well, so there comes to the operation cost. Operation cost is just currently on the current basis just 5 to 6 lakhs. So that's the, majorly one of the salary segments which we focus the salaries of our full-time employee, part-time employee interns. Another, which I was saying you at that point of time as well, that we have not put in that much of the money into marketing. So we have just put in 50K. It might be less as well in some of the, months in the previous, quarter. So that's also, that's also not a very big amount that we have put in, because the only reason where Quantel wants to do a sustainable business is where we have entered into the areas where there is organic demand. So we are going, from the now onwards, we are getting into the other segments as well, where we can actually put in a lot of marketing cost as well, that can actually give us more fruitful results. So that's also one of the aim of getting, fundraise. So I'll take that particular part into the later segment as well. And that's the miscellaneous cost of 1 lakh. So the coming down the net margin, that can be around 24-25%. That's the net margin currently Quantel is having. Moving down to the competitors slide. So that's also very important for us. So we have competitors like Expertrons, MentorCard, Preplaced. So these are one of our 3 top competitors. So saying about the customized mentoring programs. So we have Quantel, which focuses over the customized mentoring programs, but Expertrons and MentorCard focus over the fixed courses. They have like defined courses for them. But yes, Preplaced have focus over the customized mentoring program, but just 1 or 2 months before. So they were not there into the customized mentoring. They have to go into the customized mentoring by now, because we have understood by our market analysis, like way year back, that we have to do customized one. So Preplace has just launched. Also, access to the high profile bureaucratic network is not there with anyone. So that's there only, which Quantel is only doing. And that's what is also helping us creating a monopoly into the, government, officers domain side, where a lot of organizations are approaching us for their advisories, for the use of their fortes, for if anyone wants to connect with the ministry, if there's someone who wants to get the, their knowledge segment into that particular area. So that's what one of our forte as well. Again, mentorship for startups and edtech institutions, which caters into the B2B segment, that is not being handled by any of the player. And certification program for mentor candidate, that's there by Quantel and MentorCard. So certification programs, helps us, define our credibility, because after the mentoring done by any individuals or any professionals who done mentoring by us, so we share a certification signed by the mentor who have done the mentoring, that this guy has done a mentoring for like 3 months under me, and he was quite appreciable. He was a dedicated candidate, have put in this much number of hours. He's a person who is having a knowledge of this particular domain. So this helps the employer who is hiring that candidate, that yes, this guy is already been burned into this industry. He has actually the knowledge, and he can be the asset for me, because I don't have to put in my, again, lots and lots of hours to train him for that particular area. He's already been, taken by one of the, rightful mentor into the industry. So there are certification programs plays a vital role, and above 3,000 of our students having the certification programs are already placed in some of the other edtech organizations there with us. So also high quality, mentors are there with everyone, because everyone focused to create, the high quality network, but accessibility and pricing matters a lot. So I'll come down to the customer, competitor analysis as well. So in this competitor analysis, you can see we have the graph of high cost, low cost, and the personalization thing. So if I say about the high cost, so yes, the costing structure of expertons or preplays is completely high. But in terms of the personalization, they are not, expertons and mentor cards are totally not there into the personalization because they are having the defined courses. But for preplays and Quantel, they have the customization available, the personalization available, but the costing structure of preplays is quite high. And even they're not into the other B2B domains currently. So for them to cater more of the mentoring industry, it will take a lot of time. So again, saying one of the important structure of Quantel, the USPs of Quantel. So we have the customized mentoring programs. We have the accessibility to the top mentors. We have the certification program, which I've already explained, like how this actually helped the mentored candidate. Also, one of the major USPs to access to the high profile bureaucratic network that we have. So again, coming down to the next slide. So currently the funds requirement for Quantel is we're raising 2 CR at a 25 CR pre-money valuation. And majority of this funds, we are looking forward to put it into tech and marketing, because majorly, we are thinking about the marketing customer acquisition as well, because we want to cater into more of the customer side, because currently we are into B2B. We want to cater more into the customer side from, from the coming quarter. So a lot of money can be there into the marketing as well to acquire customers. And we have currently not put in as much of the money because more of the things were organic, and we will still focus over the organic mediums. But yes, marketing spend will be there, and tech spend will be there to make our system more automative, where anybody can post up the requirement, the mentor can be seen up the requirement, they have the accessibility to accept or decline. So that complete, what I would say, the complete system has to be very, very automative, and the matchmaking should be highly perfect. So that's where, our cost comes into the tech part. So we have to put in the cost into the tech as well. And again, the last but not the least is the team expansion. So currently Quantel is there into 6 to 7 cities. We work pan India, but we have catered about like 5 to 5 to 7 cities. But yes, we want to expand into the other cities as well, which are the gold mine for Quantel. So we are having Bihar as one of the region. We have Bangalore as one of the region. So we want to cater them when we are making our tech more automative, and we are have the capacity to spend into the market. So that's what we were waiting for. So that's also our plan to expand. So the projections are pretty much clear. We will be focusing on more collabs. We'll be focusing on more revenue streams. We'll be able to focus on more of the users integration as well into our platform. We'll be focusing on launching on other integrated features of our API and our, and our product. So that's also one of the major part that we are focusing over in the next 4 years of Quantel. So again, this is, if I will say you about the slide, so that's the fake press release. So this is what, if I, if you could imagine, this is the kind of headline which Quantel is imagining after 5 years of our launch, after 5 years from today as well. So what exactly is the headline which Quantel is assuming? So this is, if I would say, this is the vision of Quantel and its founding team. So we are already assuming that 5 years down the line, Quantel will be a global mentor network that have closed that particular, FY28 with the 5x revenue of the last year. We would already be having some international plans. We'll be having, we'll be there into the international, countries as well. And still after 5 years, we're gonna introduce again a new concept to revolutionize the mentoring industry. That is mentor labs, which will be something into the smart mentoring spaces. So again, the innovation should be there. So anyways, which I was saying from the first slide as well. So having the revolution about mentoring, that should already be there, one of the major goal of Quantel. So anyways, 5 years down the line, or even about 10 years down the line, Quantel will be the topmost player to add more and more of, this revolutionization into the mentoring side, and make it more efficient, more effective, and more personalized for the students. So coming down to the next slide, so we have our complete, 1 year roadmap as well. So the roadmap is pretty clear with us as soon as the fund is there. So we'll focus over developing more of the automated product. We'll launch some of the AI tech features as well. We'll launch that API as well. We'll be there into some other revenue streams as well. We'll focus over the customer feedbacks, their analysis. We'll expand our client base to make sure we have to make sure we prioritize the customer retention. Make sure we launch other areas as well, and parallelly focus over the client expansion. So that's one of the major goal, to make sure into the complete 1 year, we'll be having, a good client base. We'll be there into the market with a good AI tech product, which is having an API and other integrated features for the, for other platforms. And yes, we'll be there into the other revenue streams as well, which will be playing a vital role for Quantel to enter into the mentoring industry in Quantel. So these are some of the mentors, because from the starting of my slide, I'm saying about mentors. So Quantel USP is again, the quality of mentors. So here you can see the quality. If I say about the government officers, so we have these former education secretary, the ex-UPSC chairman. And if I say about the, the corporate guys as well, we have university leader, Vartika. We have the people from Kearney, we have the people from Google, from Amazon, from Barclays. So we have a lot of good quality mentors who have the authenticity, who have the capability to share their experiences. So moving down to the Quantel team as well. So here is me, which I'm, have already discussed. So here is my partner Rishabh Garg, who has been there into the, more of the product focused guy. He's, he has done internship with Swiggy and Oyo as well, more into the product domain side. So that's actually helping us in defining more quality product for us. And also he helped us in all of the operational domain of Quantel. So other person you can see is Sanchit Verma. He's there into the product side. So he's from IT Roorkee as well. He's both of us are, childhood friend. So he's there into the AI segment. So he have launched a pretty bunch of, paper into AI. So he has a good quality knowledge in AI and he's helping us develop that AI matchmaking feature for us. So that's also, one of our very important part in Quantel for developing the good quality product. And these are the 3 founding team members of Quantel who are focusing from day one. They are with us. So it might be like, because we are studentpreneurs, we started in 3rd year, but yes, full-fledged it's in 2021. But yes, we have the ideation stage in 2020, when we were in 3rd year. So these are the 3 pillars which we have from 3rd year of our college itself. So they have also spent like a pretty much of like 2.5 years with us. So it's been a long time. So these are the people who have worked with us with zero money, with penny amount of money, and now with a decent money. So they have a lot of understanding about our business. So they relate with our business much more, with us at this point of time. And they cater all the 3 major domains about, the mentor relations, the client relations, and the mentor management. So moving down, that's about us. Thank you so much everyone for your time. And I'd be happy to discuss if anyone have any sorts of doubt. But yes, what I can assure is that yes, if you're gonna join hands with us, then yes, we at Quantel and all the team is working at Quantel are gonna add our utmost efforts to make sure that we do revolutionize the mentoring industry and become one of the toppest player into this particular domain and crack this this entering into the education system in a more seamless manner, which is not being devoted by some defined courses but by actual experiential learning. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lucky sir, for giving a wonderful presentation. We are now opening up the platform for everyone to ask questions from the founder.
I can see a few of the questions, Sanjana, over the chat box as well. Would you like me to answer that?
First, we have people who are raising their hands, then we can take the chat box one. In the meantime, those who have written questions in the chat box, they can also raise up their hands and directly come forward and ask you, as it would be recorded here and the video would be going on our YouTube channel. Sure. All right. First, we have Mr. Mrinal Chauhan. Sir, please come forward and ask the questions.
Hi, everyone. So thank you, Lucky, for the presentation.
Thanks.
So I just have one question here. So you said that there's a 70 billion industry this as per Financial Times, right? So yeah. There's one of the slide. But in the slide, in the financial status, what StartupLanes has shown, it has shown 1.5 billion mark. So there's a huge gap there. Yeah. So is there anything missing out here?
Yeah, I'll just explain you that particular process. So that's if I when I was focusing over that Financial Express score, I've actually mentioned that it's about Indian SME only. So that's only about the SME, the one of the segment which I focus at.
No, but then StartupLanes number should have been higher, right?
You're talking about 70 million or 70 billion?
70 billion. 70 billion, right?
Yeah, it was 70 billion at that point of time, but that's what's there into the the B2B. I was focusing on that B2B segment of that particular part.
You're right, but then StartupLanes number should have been higher. They showed it is $1.5 billion.
I guess there might be some misconnect because that might be of the only mentorship segment from the individual growth segment.
I'd like to add something. That's only the mentorship market.
So they might have seen the individual seeking mentorship market, no?
Okay.
That will be saying into the individual seeking mentorship market. I was saying about the SME. That's what that I was saying that that's one of the reports that has been there by the Financial Express about only the Indian SME seeking for the mentoring. That's the one of the bigger market. That's their 70 billion. And for the individual seeking mentorship, it's this much also.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Next we have Mr. Akshay Singhal. Sir, please come forward and ask your question.
Yeah. Hi, Lucky. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
It was a good one.
Thanks.
So I have two questions. One, what's your current CAC, cost of acquisition, and what's your repeat percentage per user?
Okay, so currently, if I'll be saying about the current CAC of the organizations, so majorly, if I would be saying that our average MRR was 35 lakhs, and majorly our cost was there into the operation segment and into the marketing segment. So that was like around 5 lakhs or something around. Majorly the CAC segment is about the amount of salary that we are putting into pay to our employees.
No, so in your 5 lakh marketing spend, if that's correct, how many new users have you transacting users have you onboarded in this month?
So, I'll answer that particular part as well, Akshay. So answering about that particular part, the previous one, so average amount will be something around, 8 to 10,000 they'll be having for getting one of the client for us.
Okay, so roughly you're bringing in 50 new users every month.
For the onboarding.
No, not 50, 350 users.
Why 350 users?
If your ATS is 10,000 and your monthly revenue is 35 lakh, then that's about 350 users transacting in a month. Is that correct?
So what I was saying it to you is that because if we are having an average monthly revenue of 35 lakhs we are having. So in this average revenue of 35 lakhs, which I was saying it to you. So we are putting that amount, the net margin is something around 24-25%, where we are having around 8 lakhs. For the only spend that we are having currently is we are having for the operation teams for around 4 to 5 lakhs, and for marketing is around 50,000. So amount is only like averagely we are spending like 10,000 around to get one of the customers onboarded with us. And yes, we are having around 200 plus clients onboarded, but yes, for the paid clients we are having something around 40% of them. So we are having above like around 40-50 paid clients we are having at this point of time.
So across your hourly and daily and monthly packages, let's say if I consider a payment by a user in a particular month,
which one is the maximum?
So no. So what is the per user payment which is coming to you per month?
Okay, so if I'll be saying about a quarter, let's take it for a quarter, because this is what we are having. Minimum our customer says for a quarter, for like 3 months or kind of the mentor they require for us. For a quarter, average amount that they pay to us for is something around 5 to 8 lakhs average.
5 to 8 lakhs.
Yes. So for example,
and that's in the B2B segment.
That's into the B2B segment currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
answering your that question as well, sometimes there are clients like other clients who are having good pockets. So like for example PW, so for that quarter of January, February, March, they have also paid us like every month they were paying us around 6 to 8 lakhs every month, just for the mentoring as well, for the mentoring.
So out of 35 lakh, how much is coming from B2B and how much is coming from B2C?
So that's what I was saying, Akshayji. So in my presentation, I have said it very clearly that currently Quantel has pivoted into B2B model. So we are majorly doing B2B. It's completely B2B only. So some of the segments where we work with colleges, everything is paid by the organization to us. For example, in this 35 lakhs, in the previous month, we were having one of the college in IP as well, who paid us like around 4 to 5 lakhs for mentoring of their around, that much of the student they have given it to us for that particular month. So that's there. Or even only organization pays to at this point of time, because we started with B2C Akshayji, but B2C में problem ये आता है कि अभी currently awareness create करने में, impact डालने में, credibility दिखाने में थोड़ा सा it takes time. And currently, if you want to run a sustainable business, because from day one we was profitable and we wanted to make sure we align into the organic side and make sure we develop a sustainable business out of it, which is not being infused by money at the current basis. We wanted to have a pivot and, wanted to do something by our own. So that's what we started with B2B. And that's actually helped us because most of our players who started with B2C, they actually end up doing anything they're not even into the mentorship market. But we are very proud to say that we are into the mentorship market, and through B2B, we're actually giving good results. Like this rank 1 UPSC, rank 1 RBI, in other exams as well, we are given, other state exams, we are given rank 1, rank 2. So actually our mentors candidates are, giving us good credible results. So that's also one of the good game that we are doing into B2B.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Through this, we can actually enter into later on into the B2C stages, because that will.
No, I understand. I just wanted to know the current dynamics.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next we have Mr. Vibhuti Singhal. Sorry, Mr. Vibhuti Agarwal. So please come forward and ask the question.
Yeah, Miss Vibhuti Agarwal. So, but yeah, hi, thank you, Lucky. Fantastic work. Great job in putting your entire work forward in front of all these people.
Thanks.
So quickly, a couple of questions that I have, and just building on to Akshay's question also further is, what is the average contract size of your, like when you enter into any contracts with a B2B organization? You told about that on a quarterly basis.
Sure.
So
I'll explain
on
you
average,
the
like 6 to 8 lakhs. Yeah.
I understand your question. I explain you the complete scenario. So we have the lock-in period, the agreement years that we have with average client is around 2 years, which we sign the agreement. That's the complete lock-in period. We have the agreement. And coming on, so we have a client on a quarterly basis. We define the average amount they pay to us. On a quarterly basis, most of the client pays us around 5 to 8 lakhs. That's the average that we have on a quarter basis for our clients. And the recurring ratio, I guess someone have asked this recurring rate. So recurring rate is quite well for Quantel. We have like 70 to 80% of majorly of our B2B companies coming back to us, in a mid gap of like 1 or 2 months, they're coming into the next quarter. So that's very positive of us, because most of them, getting us into the mouth-to-mouth publicity as well, because we are not being known by the clients, but the clients like Study IQ or the clients like PW came to us through the mouth-to-mouth by the other institutes that yes, there is a person who can help you with the credible mentors. So that's what we are doing into the B2B side. Yeah.
Got it. And when you're saying that there is a repeat rate of 70 to 80%, folks are coming in on a quarterly basis, what does that mean? Because you are already in that 2-year lock-in period, right? So are you saying that within even these 2-year lock-in period, people can drop out and then people can come back in? Like,
it's not about dropout, Ms. Vibhuti. So it's about, the requirements rate. So we have a lock-in period with 2 years. They can easily, extend it with the other, years as well. But I'm saying about the quarters just to have an understanding about how much amount they are giving us on an average basis. So continuity is about like 3 months. They have the continuity, then they have a break for like 1 month because they are not having that much requirement because they were focusing on the admissions. And then they again came back because they have onboarded another student. So it's something like this.
So basically, even though they're in an agreement for 2 years, on a per month basis, the revenue that you're getting from them could be very, very different.
The revenue varies. It depends upon the requirements. The revenue matters, but there are certain organizations who are partnered, and I'm in discussion with partnership like Master Union. They have like around 300 students who are there into their MBA cohort, and for every 300 students, every student every week, 1 year, every student every week, 1 hour mentorship session fixed for the complete 16 weeks. So that's
baked into their program. So that's baked into their program, literally, almost like that.
Yeah. So
maybe another quick question. So most of the organizations that you've described or the examples that you've given are largely from the edtech world, essentially, where people are still in their studies and their coursing exams and all of that, right? There's a complete different world around the career networking or career mentorship, career growth, essentially, which is a complete different ball game. You're at a different stage. And LinkedIn out there is like a very powerful today platform for people to do that, right? How would you differentiate yourself? Or maybe let me take it back. Are you guys thinking about entering into that or going into that segment where you're more into like the career mentorship, career growth mentorship, for example? And if yes, then how would you distinguish yourself from LinkedIn's of the world?
Sure. I'll explain, answer your questions definitely. So if I saying about the LinkedIn perspective. So in LinkedIn, definitely Quantel varies from LinkedIn in different scenarios. Number one is the authenticity of the content. where student who is randomly connecting with the people, they don't have the idea that whether the content the other person will be saying, giving it or delivering it will be authentic or not, because there is no any financial discussions, or they might have a financial discussion by themselves, but they don't know about the authenticity. Second is about the type of function that we have built. So it's about 3 months, 1 year kind of mentorship. So it's about 3 months, 6 months. You can have it for like 5 days. Different scenarios are there. So there is a different functionality we have built into our business that's not there into LinkedIn. So you can't just message everyone by saying, "Okay, I need you for 3 months as a mentor for me." So even that's not possible. So even again, one of the one of the other reason can be about the matchmaking. So student personally is figuring out which guy will be better for him, because to be honestly saying, if there are thousands of people sitting in Google, not every thousands will be the right fit people who have the ability to transfer their experiences. There will be only few, and that is only being determined when you have a complete feedback management system, that which are the perfect things about that guy, in which area he's strong, in which area he's delivering, what is the acceptability rate by the students, how he's able to manage the feedbacks, how he's able to deliver the experiences. So that if there is some people who's able to manage all these things and deliver it in front of the students, that this is the network you can access, where you can, where you don't have to worry over the authenticity of the content. You just have to, leverage it and access the experiences. So that has been already been there, by us. So that's where we are different from LinkedIn, because that's not been there at all at LinkedIn. And what was the next question, Ms. Vibhuti?
Got it, and that makes sense, I think. And I think the other key part of it,
and another thing which you were saying about the career side, but to be honestly saying, we today don't want to limit ourselves with career only. So to be honestly saying, we have been approached by very, very good startups as well, like which I was saying about Ola in some of the picks, and other, EV vehicles as well, where they're using the, where they're looking to use our mentors to leverage their policies. So we are having a good bureaucratic network as well, where they're looking forward to define the policies for their drivers by connecting it with the DGP of Delhi, the ex-DGP of Delhi that we have. They want to define the policies for the agri-tech startup. They can connect with the IS who is there into the Ministry of Agriculture. So there are a lot of things which we are looking forward to deliver mentorship. We don't want to define only into the career side, because currently there are lots and lots of organic areas, Ms. Vibhuti. So even I'm unsure that I have covered all the organic area, but yes, I'm trying to cover most of them, because everything organically we are going to cover is actually helping us deliver good results into the market. So UPSC government side, it's been completely organic. So people have asked us, if you're having mentors, come to us and give us into this side. So why would an individual enter into the UPC side where I was not having any sorts of knowledge? So it's completely organic. So there are a lot of areas. So truly will not define only into the career side, but yes, we want to become one of the biggest player into the mentoring industry in India by starting it from day one. This was there into our vision, and we need to revolutionize it, and we are trying our best to make it effective and efficient.
Got it. Makes sense. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mr.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, we have Mr. Santosh Nair. So please come forward and ask your question.
Thank you. So Lucky, first of all, congratulations. I think you've started a great concept and a business model behind it. And I like your pivot from being a B2C to a B2B and a B2B2C kind of a model, because that really is, that probably the revenue, there's a predictability and a growth opportunity there. The other one can be highly unpredictable in the B2C market, right? I mean,
yeah. Truly, that's the reason. You understand my, back of the mind.
Right. So given this, I was just looking at your financials. You said a MRR of 35 lakhs with an expense ratio of close to 75%, everything together, and a margin of net margin of around 25%.
24 to 25%, yeah. 24
to 25%. In that, the large part of the cost is the operations cost, where you said is for paying off the mentors for their time and their effort. And
that's the cost of the service is the maximum one. So that's about the payment of the mentors, yeah.
That's probably your biggest asset that you have, right? Your mentor network. So obviously there's a cost there. And then you talked about the operations in terms of your team's cost, which is roughly six or something lakhs.
5 to 6 lakhs, yeah.
Right. So now, and this is given the fact that you and the other co-founders are not drawing any salaries out of the organization today, or are you all drawing salaries? So I saw at least 6 people in the team. Now I'm sure there are developers behind. So put together, how is the structure like?
Yeah, so currently, you saw 3 people, 6 people into the team, but yes, we are a complete team of 10 to 12 full-time people, and rest there are like around, other interns and part-time people working with us. So that's there into a team of like around 15, 18 individuals, and 10 to 12 are completely full-time. And out of this 10 to 12, everyone is drawing salaries, including all the, both of us founders as well. But yes, our salaries are not that much currently. We are taking a salaries of an average employee.
Exactly, a penny kind of
penny.
salary structure.
Penny
Yeah,
salary.
so that exactly. So that is where your profitability comes from, actually, right? I mean, if you add on and say even you increase your salaries for your team, the profitability is going to go down. So you are investing yourself into the company, and that's great. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so we are investing. Yeah, average salary, sir, we have put in a decent salary. So it's something like around, 30 to 35,000. It's a good salary that we are having, paying it to for the full-time employees that we are having. But yeah, we can increment it, truly saying, and we are having the similar salary for us as well. We can increment it, but yeah, that's there into the fine.
No, that's fine. Okay, understood. And so with that background, you're looking for raising 1.2 crores, right? Is that
it's 2 crores, sir. 2 crores.
2 crores.
Yeah.
2 crores as the kind of the fund for investing into the tech field and the
into the tech
marketing
field and into the marketing, because we have not spent that much money, sir. If I was saying you the unit economics, we have just spent 40 to 50,000 every month. We need to spend because we want to enter into the B2B2C area as well, very fast, and because that's into a scalable side as well, more of us into the Quantel. So we need to spend a good amount of money into the marketing, and we were very much strategic from day one how to spend about the money in marketing. So we have already there with all the good go-to-market strategies that we are having in our mind, whether it's about the influencers or it's about doing some offline events, because that's actually helping us grow. So there was one of the event where we have invited a lot of startups, a lot of other educational institutions, and that actually gave us a lot of partners, a lot of clients. So we do a lot of strategically events in terms of marketing, which actually paid us back. So that's what we want to do more. That's what we want to invest more. That can actually help Quantel grow more into the client base and more into the B2B2C base as well. So priority will be marketing and tech.
Right. So when you look at the B2B2C market, and am I right in understanding that you're still targeting the same segments of startups and edtech or educational institutions around the other cities, and not yet into the mid to large enterprises? The reason I ask that is the mid to large enterprises usually have their own internal mentoring programs, and usually these mentoring programs are more from within the organization, right? Where other corporate managers mentor the younger ones, or you provide reverse mentoring, etc. So question is, are you looking at expanding into that space as well, where you can bring external mentor network into corporate enterprises as well, mid to large?
Yeah, truly, honestly saying, sir, yes, I'll not deny to this situation, because there is employee mentoring being happen by my other players who are the competitors outside India. So they are also doing employee mentoring, and that's actually a very excelling field into the mentoring side, because a lot of employees, like if I would say about the team of like 30 people in sales. So, if you give them a quality sales mentor, which is very accessible to them in terms of the problems they are facing when they are not able to connect with the manager, they have a defined mentor for where they have to connect for like, an hour a week or like a 2 hour a week, where they have to, discuss about the problems they are facing, discuss about the pipeline they can fix. So a lot of things have become accessible. Their team growth and the complete bunch sales team growth will be can be 2x or 3x high. So that's also an area which is where you can, if you give the accessibility, because currently, yes, they are having their own mentoring systems, but that's the reason where we have not trying capturing initially. We want to make it a more strong base for us in terms of mentors, as well as in terms of tech. As soon as it's been defined in few months, we're going to enter into that area, honestly saying. So I've already discussed with a few of the companies in Noida and in Gurgaon. So both of them have asked me for the very stronger tech. He said, yes, if you can give me the accessibility to the mentors, like for example, I have a team of 40 in sales and 30 in marketing, 20 in tech. So give me like, a list of, 40 mentors for me, which are very accessible for my, for my employees. They can connect with them. So we'll have a subscription model or like an annual subscription model for that. So that's there into my vision at this point of time.
Okay. Thank you. No, because that's a huge market out there.
Yeah, that's actually a very huge market, sir. And outside India, to be honestly saying, my actual competitors who are doing mentoring in B2B are not in India. They are outside. So they're also there into startups and employ, and they are doing big. They're actually doing big because it's a very, very big market. So I'm just looking forward to go get in over there, and because I'm already having discussions. So having a vision, I'm already having discussions. So even few of the organization are having discussion to loop in my these government officers as advisors, to loop in my corporate mentors as their mentors for their employees. So a lot of things I'm having discussion, but yeah, that's to be there into the coming months as soon as these two things are fixed, the marketing and into the tech.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Next, we have Mr. Piyush Jain. Sir, please come forward and ask your question.
Yeah. So thank you, Lucky, and nice presentation and nice company you have started. So just wanted to ask you one question, like, what is your motto? I mean, see, basically, there are so many companies which are into like Internshala, education companies all over. What's going to prevent them if their business starts making some decent amount of money, starts growing a little bit bigger? What's going to prevent them from coming in? I mean, this because there is not much tech involved.
Got it. So you're asking for the defensibility, right? So
yeah, basically, what's the moat around your business so that nobody can come in, right? Or a few people can come in.
Yeah. So to be honestly saying, sir, there are a few things which has been required to develop this business, and it actually takes time. So that's about the moat of our organization, where we focus over few of the things, where we deliver high quality network stays with us. So for the exclusive mentor, we have signed our contracts as well, where the mentors will be there with us, because we're going to give them as soon as we go into the upcoming few months. We are looking forward to discuss with our exclusive mentor for a complete signed contract, where we'll be giving them the defined engagements, and they have to only work with us. So that's a kind of a thing which can only be done by a mentor system who has been there into the market for like 1 or 2 years, and they have a complete understanding of the mentors who have actually developed a lot of branding and a lot of in touch with the students. So that's where an experienced mentor platform can develop exclusivity and can cater all these mentor with the defined engagement. So this is one of the things that we're going to launch on a later months, on the later side, where we have an complete intellectuality that yes, these are the mentors who are have a lot of engagements in the coming months, and they're being catered more by the students. So let's have exclusivity with them and sign the contracts, which we already discussed with few of the mentors who have actually getting a good amount of payout with us on a daily and monthly basis. So first is this about having security of your exclusive mentors. Second is about the execution, because in terms of execution, there are a lot of mentors who, a lot of other mentor, players as well, who have started in the last few years. But yes, they're not able to cater into the mentoring side, because in mentoring sides, you need to develop that awareness. You need to develop that, matchmaking facility that's been highly credible for your, AI to match with the right set of mentors for that particular requirements. So that's been there into, this particular area. And we are there into the B2B as well, Piyush sir. So in B2B, we are trying to create a monopoly into the areas as well, where we have entered first phase, and a lot of clients are looking for all of their requirements. They're coming first to us. So that's also, we have signed the contracts with the clients. And for the clients, it's something like they cannot they cannot connect any of our mentors without any involvement of us. They have to have involvement of Quantel by connecting with the mentors. So a lot of defensibility we are adding into our business in terms of mentors, in terms of clients, and in terms of the execution as well. We are, because in execution of mentors, it takes time. So you need to define a lot of things for your mentors. So, and even that AI matchmaking feature, that will be highly credible for us, because we are trying to test it up for a long time, and it's been done by this year as well. So that's few of the things that we are having into our minds. And again, a vision is something which matters the most, I would say, Piyush sir, because at any point of time, anybody can enter into your business, even if you are Tata Birla Money as well. Even if they also start a new business, they also is something like, aisa to nahi hota ki sir, if Ambani has started something new segment, then it's defined ki ye badegi. Even they also tried a lot of things. So it also sometimes fails. So it's not all the time defined ki if someone put in a lot of money and start the same mentor network. A lot of time it matters about the founder's vision. It matters about the type of execution, and matters about how actually they relate with the problem. So me and my founder are the guys who have actually seen this problem with ourselves, have seen it problems with the students of ours, and who's actually facing it, seeing it, and actually seeing the results as well. So this is what we believe, that yes, we are highly enthusiastic to actually develop this change into this market, and we'll try our level best to revolutionize it.
See, what I will suggest is grow as soon as you can.
Yeah,
Because I mean, the more bigger you grow, the better it is, and the more distance you create.
Yeah, that's one of the vision, to make it highly scalable at this point of time, only to develop, to enter into B2B2C as well. So that's the requirement of funds. So honestly saying, that's the only requirement, because we have also seen that there is an organic requirement and people are coming back to us. So that's what also I'm seeing, to just highly cater into the scalability of this mentoring side.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Next, we have Mr. Dipendra Tulsian. Sir, please come forward and ask your question.
Yes, thanks, Sanjana. Hi, Lucky. Great presentation, and it's a great concept. I wanted to ask a few questions. You just mentioned about the competition, and a couple of our colleagues have also discussed with investors. We have discussed about the moat and the competition moving from B2B to B2C. So when you started the journey, you were looking at any particular player you want to become, like somebody in US or in other Western markets? Like, we know there are a lot of startups or now they have become very grown, matured companies like Mentally, Mentaloop, Mentacruise. So any model that you're particularly trying to chase? Of course, initially you will be having your own way of working to reach to a scale, and then you will probably get into different domains like events or and also getting into different spaces of large sponsorship programs. So I don't know, I mean, are you looking at certain big things that you want to reach to after a certain scale you want to start getting into?
Sure. I totally understand your question. Thank you so much for asking, the sir. So actually rate with us. So it's not about, from day one we were having some sort of players in your mind. So it's about a founder's vision. So we started with B2C. So at B2C point of time, I was looking at Cruise. So that's we used to research. You started with B2C by your own vision. You started with B2C, and you wanted to become best in that. So you look forward for some of the bigger people where that can be the vision to you. So I look for Cruise. But after then I got, I pivoted and I defined the model for myself, which was something new for us, and it was something new to the market as well. So it actually helped me grow as well. So that was into the B2B area, where I'll be looking forward to deliver high quality mentors to the requirements given by the organizations. So as soon as I enter into this area, so I started figuring out, is there any player in India? I was not able to figure out player into the B2B area. So I then enter outside India, and I figured out if there are some other players there into the B2B area. So I find out one of the player, that's Growth Mentor. So that's there into, I guess, in other, outside India, in some US or other countries. So they are focused into startups mentoring. They focus for startups.
Yes, a lot of startup mentoring here.
They provide, advisors. They provide other things, and they are doing an outstanding job at that. But they are focused into that particular area only. So, again, saying it's a vision of founder. Whenever you see a player who's there into outside India and doing actually good, so that comes down to your mind. That can also be your end goal, 5 years or 4 years or 3 years down the line. So, anyways, I have not focused any time over one of the play that this is what I wanted to become. Every time we enhance by ourselves. We develop the things by ourselves. We develop execution by ourselves. And after the execution, 5 years down the line, if the target is being set when you figured out like these, this is the player who is doing good into that particular market. So that can be one of your target into the 2 to 3 years area. So to answer your question, so we are not actually looking for, we are not having one player in my actual mind that this is what I wanted to become. But slowly and steadily, when your execution plays a role where you, as a founder's vision, you understand, you add on more of the things into your vision, then yes, you look forward for some players for the target perspective. So I have few of the players who are there in my target. Yeah, this is something which we can do in the couple of the years. So Growth Mentor is that one of them, and Mentor Cruise is one of them. And when I'm looking forward to the B2C as well. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Lucky, I want to discuss something more about the go-to-market strategy that you have, and then later about a bit of a questions. People have already asked about the financials, but I wanted to get into the numbers a little bit more. So to start with, on the go-to-market, see, you have a lot of opportunities right out there, and India is a place where geographically or space-wise or in domain-wise, there are certain gaps, big gaps. So even when there are 3 or 4 players, I don't think so it's enough for, it's a too big a cake to eat. So even if you keep on growing and there are people who are copying your model and all, still you will be keep on going because of the first mover advantage, or even in specific space, you can have your market leadership. So you have startup mentoring, you have somebody spoke about mid to large segment corporates, B2C space you are talking about. So all these space, each and every space requires a lot of effort and a lot of dedication, and you need to go a little deeper into each and every space. You cannot spend, you cannot be a master of all. So you need to go into one space at a time. Now you're captured you're getting into the B2B, and I think so it's the right move to start with, because here it's very easy to crack. The requirements are there. It's one-to-one, and there's recurring revenues here. In B2C, you'll have to build a lot of, you have to invest a lot into tech, a lot into marketing. There's a lot of investments, and only later you will get benefits out of it. Not now. It's not an immediate, it's a future revenues. It's not a current revenue. But B2B, you can immediately start. Even startup mentoring, you can immediately get into. So to be honest, I am not very clear what is your plan from now on. You are at 35 lakh monthly run rate, and maybe you want to reach to, what is your projection for next year and future years, and what is your go-to market model to reach to that level? Because that go-to market is very important. You have got your initial stage cleared, your MVP is done, you're getting good 20-30 paid clients, as I can see from 35 lakh that you're getting, and your average is 5 to 6 lakh per quarter per customer. Then it's around 20-25 paid clients that you have. So from
Around
20, sorry.
Yeah, please keep on. I was just saying about the numbers. It was around 40 that we have, 38-40 paid clients.
Paid clients. All right. So growing these numbers so that you have little bit profitability in your hand. You can also, the investment that you'll get from the current round, you will be able to scale up a little bit. I think so. You should still focus a lot before going into B2C, which is quite a cash burning model. I know a lot of startups have tried to venture into B2C and then come back to B2B in order to grow further and then move to B2C. So it's an advice, but of course you are the best judge. So look into that. But I believe you should focus and do a pan-India model on B2B, become really big size, maybe 10x or 5x to the current from the current levels, and then start once you're very, very comfortable, you can start getting into the B2C domain. So what exactly is your go-to market for the future? Now, right now you're in the nice space, and you have 20-25% net margins. These margins, of course, you need to grow further, and in terms of absolute value, and then you can take it up into different domains. But what is your go-to market? Where are you trying to get into? Which space? Which all different spaces you're trying to enter into, and maybe region-wise, maybe segment-wise, maybe even domain-wise.
Sure. I definitely got your question, Dipendra sir. So first of all, asking you questions about entering into B2C. So you were very clear, and you were very right as well into that area where you said later on we need to start with the B2C part. So that was there into my mind as well. So we are not starting with the B2C just after this funding, to be honestly saying. So this funding is for B2B and B2B2C, where we gonna capture a big bunch of clients and big bunch of clients in different variety of domains. So B2C is a later on vision, because that's to be truly saying, you were very true, that B2C can be started when you become comfortable with that particular area and you have a lot of tech and you can spend the money, and there can be a less cash burn which you can think at that point of time. So that's there into some of the years down the line where we become that much comfortable in India, and there is no as such high cash burning thing that we have to put into the B2C. But currently, yes, Quantel is going into B2B and B2B2C just to capture a big bunch of clients, just to grow into different sorts of areas. Answering your questions about go-to-market strategies. So yes, we are having our things and we are having our strategies defined. So currently, Quantel is there into the edtech organizations, institutes, the edtech institutes who are focused about the exam preparations, preparations, and the other institutes, who are giving them the knowledge for the jobs and other preparation things. So Quantel is currently there into the institutes, the organizations, and the colleges. So currently, Quantel, will be, keep on developing their good strength into these areas. But yes, slowly and steadily, we'll try to enter into the other domains as well. So as soon as we got a clear, clear flag from all these three areas that yes, these three are going to be completely tapped, where we are having our strategies defined, and the money is, on the flow, where you're having everything defined, and the execution is already very clear. Now it's the time to enter into the other domains. So for the current areas, for the current three things that we follow, so our go-to-market strategy is very clear. For colleges, we do a lot of awareness activities about mentorships into colleges, and through that we get into the administrations and finally get the authorization of getting from the administration we get the authorizations of connecting our mentors with the students. For edtech organizations, we we do a lot of offline events where we participate, where we go for the events, where we connect with the other clients as well, where a lot of other edtech institutes and edtech organizations are coming. So we meet with them, we discuss about our potential synergies. We invest our money with the individuals who want to connect with the organizations. We invest our money with the field visits with the organizations and other things. So we do have our
So who are doing all these things right now? You said that you have around 10 to 12 permanent staff and around another 10, 12 interns. So
so
who are doing all these things? Because it takes a lot of time and effort, and you need to keep on doing it. It's not like you do it one time and then this is not this is more manpower driven model and not a tech driven model. You have a tech as a backend, but let's say you said that you are into 6 to 7 cities and now you want to grow pan India. It's a huge manpower driven model.
So currently that's I was saying to you, Dipendra sir, that currently the go-to-market strategy was this, where we are focusing over the human touch, about the events, about the the online events that we do, about the interaction with the field visits. We do some sort of marketing as well in terms of digital marketing, where we have our mentors listed to all of these organizations. But yes, you are very true that there is a bit of human touch. But yes, this is the type of the team that we have built in Quantel. That rather than having 30 undedicated people, I have a team of 10 dedicated people working with me 24 hours, and these are the people who are the visionary people who are there related with the vision of our company. And yes, for interns as well, it's we are having good quality interns working with us at a decent stipend, because they are putting all sorts of their efforts into our organizations. So interns also play a very vital role in terms of going into the field visits, in terms of more of the human touch part. So interns plays a vital role as well. So these are the current things that we are following at this point of time. As soon as
you will have to actually think about your go-to market in a little different way. It's a very traditional way of doing it, and a lot of startups start with this, which is okay. But once you start growing, it is not sustainable, as the market, what you are trying to capture, you need a more recurring revenues, where your efforts are put in one time and you get revenues for a long number of months.
Honestly saying, go-to-market strategy is determines by the area which you are tapping. So currently the area which I am tapping is institutes, the colleges, and the edtech organizations. So for all these organizations, traditional approach matters.
You will need that. I agree to that, and that's where I was coming to.
I'll just complete it, sir. So for all these kind of things, if you enter into other digital marketing mediums, other sort of go-to-market medium, that will not matter to them. For all these institutes, we have like a bunch of like 70,000 of these institutes who are there into pan India. For them, these kind of other kind of go-to-market strategy will not work. They focus over one of the areas as well. So for different areas, we have different go-to-market strategy. For them, this is it. For the other areas, which which I'll be saying it to you right now as well, about the other areas which I'm looking forward to enter. For them, I'll definitely change the go-to-market strategy according to the area that I'm looking forward to enter.
I agree what you are saying, and just one point I would like to highlight. It's an advice. There are even better ways to reach out to the same 70,000 institutes. You can actually partner in. You have mentioned, in fact, in one of your in your roadmap, which is you're talking about the API integration to your client base. So one is API integration to a single client, but what if you tap into the aggregator network, which is you have a lot of edtech startups who are the players, a big players or a medium-sized player, who are actually catering to a lot of educational institutions by themselves. So let's say there's an edtech startup who is actually very close to 500 different colleges, universities, and schools. Why don't you just want to tie up with them so that you can tap into their base itself? So it's B2B2B. Okay. So if you get into this B2B aggregator network, your amount of time required to crack in one aggregator will be a little higher, but it's a win-win for both of them. So it will be easier. And then you will be tapping into a huge number of your customers, clientele base immediately. So I mean, that was, I was talking about how to scale it up, and focusing on one institute at a time. Agree. I mean, that's how we have started, and it's a good way, and you should continue that, not stopping it, but also start tapping into a bigger B2B2B domains aggregator network, because there's a lot in India, there's a lot of consolidation happening in the education sector. Big players are there, and they have a huge base and the customers out there. So,
True.
so that was my
honestly
point.
saying, Dependra sir, it's not something like that. I have not tapped all of them. So it's something, if you have heard of this company called GitWork. So they have like a huge client base, huge client base among colleges. So they have like around, I guess around 500 colleges tied up with them. And there is a company called Exit as well, who is having a lot of, other institutes tied up with them, like Adviso. They're tied up with almost all the institutes for preparation. So it's not something that we are not in words with them. So we are in words with them. But honestly saying, because might be possible, the type of conversation and the type of things doesn't get through that much into a good level. But yes, we are in conversation and we are publicizing ourselves through the organizations, but that is quite taking a lot of time, and the credibility is not that much high when we go from B to B to B, because it's also a scare about, because that B to B guy, he's having a very good relation with that particular client. So, in having that particular person introduce yourself and then taking over a lead over those things. So it sometimes becomes a bit difficult, because we have tried it, but yeah, truly, respecting your, vision about this, because that can actually play a vital role. But yeah, we have tried it and, shifted into other things only.
It requires a different mindset and different model. Actually, it's not the straightforward model as you work with. So yeah, there will be some cuts and some commissions that you'll have to revenue share model that you need to
We need to care. Thank you so much.
Yes, need to work on. Okay, one last question from my side, Lucky.
Yeah.
Sorry. So just one last question. I want to understand your future structure of company. Your current structure is a little bit clear, but how are you trying to work on your future structure once you get the funding and once you want to expand into different domains, including the current domain? Let's say 1 year down the line, what is the structure you're looking at? Because one side is tech, second side is supply side control, supply side management, and the third is the demand side. So demand, supply, and tech, all the three you need to really push up a bit. So how are you trying to
structure in terms of the team? Currently the team
org structure, yeah.
Yeah. So currently also, Dependra sir, we have like 3 teams who focus over the entire, working structure at Quantel. So we have like a mentor relations team who manages the relations with the mentors that we have, so that we already have the updated knowledge about all the mentors, their availability areas, their time frames, and every sort of things about our mentors. We have a team which manages relations with the clients. That's the client relation management team, which makes sure we have good bunch of engagements coming on a quarterly basis or coming on a monthly basis. That's been done by the client relation management team. And one is with the the client onboarding or the mentor onboarding team. So that's the third structure about the client onboarding and mentor onboarding. And they focuses over onboarding the required clients who are actually having the the requirement for mentors, or the mentors who can actually add value to the current ecosystem of mentors at Quantel. So these are the 3 pillars that Quantel focus at this point of time. So as soon as 1 year down the line, when we'll be having kind of an API structure as well, which where we'll be focusing over the tech part as well. So we'll be having one additional pillar which is working over Quantel, which will be into into the tech side. We'll be focusing over about giving the products, giving our own API service product to all of our clients, where our client can leverage this product by by using the mentoring, by using the mentors that has been listed over the API as a service to all of their students. So that's also one of the other pillar that we're going to add by maintaining the relations with the product which we are selling it to our clients, and giving it to more other the requirements structures. So that's one of the other things that can be there into the side.
So great. One last one, Lucky, you have any tech platform right now for either mentor or for the client, website or app or anything, or this is just in the making?
The currently which we have is about the booking structure with the mentors. So you can book the mentors, you can define the time slots and everything. So that's been done. But yeah, the proper mechanism of the job to be sent and the acceptance and the other ratio, all the admins activity, the dashboard, that's been on the making structure. So currently we're gonna use to have have it over a bit of human touch. You used to convert have a connections over through emails and other platforms. But yeah, the complete self platform has been ongoing. We just have the booking and the other structure medium that's been prepared with us. The onboarding of the mentor is being prepared, which we already do. The booking structure is already been done.
So how does client interact? How does client know that what all mentor mentors you have on your board, and which one they have to choose? Is client choosing it, or you are choosing it for the client?
So we choose it for the client's dependence. So client give us the requirement on a very detailed basis that yes, we are looking forward for an IAS with this much years of experience, or we're looking for an AI person with this much years of experience. These are the subcategories he should be able to deliver, this task into the upcoming 3 weeks in a time period of this much hours. So give me the most probable rightful options. So currently, this is what we are, having a discussion. So they give us the requirement on a detailed basis, and then we, as Quantel, we give them the rightful, credible options of the mentors on the basis of the categories, and then they select and we, do the further detailings. So, but yeah,
before
later
that,
on,
in between, you have to talk to every mentor and give them the requirements of the client, and then once they say okay, you take it up, right?
so currently, what happens is because we have our complete detailings ready with all the mentors' details and their subcategories and all the things which is written. So if someone have given me the detailed structure, like for example, it's about AI. So I look into the AI structure of my client, about the experience. I'll put another filter of experience. If it is about other subcategories, so we'll put further filters. And then as per our acceptability rate that we know, because in AI structure in these sites, this few of these mentors have a high acceptability rate. So we share, on the Quantel feedback mechanism or the acceptability rate basis, we share it with the clients. So then the client chooses it on the basis of them. Yeah, okay, fine. This is one which looks perfect, and then we take the lead over that particular structure. But yes, moving forward over the structure which we are building, so client can put on the requirement, and that will be directly jumping into the mentors. They can accept it or reject it by their own basis. So that will become it more of an automated system. So that will help us grow into a more scalable side as well, because we'll be able to handle a bundle of more engagements into that.
All right, great. So that's kind of a Tinder kind of an
We'll
experience where both the supply and demand can talk to
any
each other.
organization, any colleges, anyone, they can put in the requirement on a kind of an assignment basis.
Self-service tool, basically.
Put in all the requirement on a detailed basis. We'll send it into the mentors directly. Mentors can accept it, decline it. The acceptance mentor will be shown on the client screen. These are being accepted. They can do the further proceeding accordingly on that.
Wonderful. Great. Lucky, thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you so much, Dipendra sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dipendra sir. Next, we have Mr. Manjunath. Please come forward and ask your question.
Yes, thank you, Lucky, for the presentation. So I had a few questions. So what is the contracts that you have with the B2B clients, for example, Unacademy or the other companies that you have? And the second, yeah.
Please, sir.
And the second question is, like you have mentors on this platform from companies, right? Is there some conflict of interest that they're getting paid from you, but they're using their company names to promote themselves? Won't there be some problems in that?
Can you help me with the second question again, sir? So I just want to have a clarity among. I just have to.
So you have mentors from leading companies, right? Who are on this, and they're getting paid from you because they're providing this. Isn't there a conflict of interest that their company will not allow them, or this kind of such?
Got it. So saying about this question itself. So it's about, because, currently we have like top leading, corporate players, working with us. We have into the government officer side as well, because both of us, they are looking forward to deliver the rightful mentoring to the requirements that we shared with them. So yes, when it comes to the corporate requirements, so they are not doing the similar kind of their work. So if a person is working in Amazon as a software engineer, so he's just delivering his experience about how he actually landed. So he's just giving an educational, knowledge to the users or to any other people that I have shared with them. So that's about more of the education side. That's not been a conflict with the company, because he's not sharing or he's not working for any other company into the technology aspect only. He's doing into something different. He's just sharing his educational experiences. So that's been completely okay with all the organization, because he's just sharing an educational experience. The conflict will arise when he will discuss about the technology which he is working, and he'll work with some other company in the same technology aspect. So that comes down to the conflict of interest with the companies. But when he's sharing just an educational knowledge where he got studied, what exactly he studied, what is the things which matters the most. So just an educational experience doesn't matter that much. So that's not at all a conflict of interest. And when we say about the government offices, so yeah, we do have government offices as well. But yes, 70 to 80% are retired ones. And for the rest, serving ones, they are into the engagements which are very basic, which are completely different from the work they are doing. So these are definitely never considered on the conflict basis, because these engagements are completely different. So that's there into the conflict one. And what was the first question, sir? Just
yeah. What is the contracts that you have with these edtech firm like Unacademy and this
so
one?
the contract that we have is depending upon the engagement, sir. Like for Unacademy, we have the like we have like 3-4 contract signs. One contract is providing them mentors for their for their students who are there into the CAD domain, where they're looking forward to have high profile IM people, giving them mentorship on a one-on-one basis. One contract is for giving them mentors for giving them high qualified mock interviews for the UPSC and other exam students. So we are giving them the mentors for their for their pillars where they're giving mock interviews. So we're giving the mentors for the mock interviews. Third is about where we are giving mentors by which are doing sorts of workshops for Unacademy, or like market practitioner sessions for Unacademy. So it's something about giving weekly lectures, weekly industry specific lectures by the mentors of Quantel. So these are 2 to 3 contracts that we have signed. So it completely depends upon the engagements they are with us. So we at Quantel, we offer like a bunch of 6 to 7 engagements to our clients. So it depends upon which engagements they want to have it. They want to have, lectures through our mentors. They want to have mock interviews through our lecture, through our mentors. They want to have some workshops through our mentors. They want to have something else through our mentors. So it depends upon the engagements they're choosing. Then we have the contract. And the minimum contract we have is for like, around 1.5 to 2 years. We have the minimum contract. And yes, depends upon the engagement they choose, and we give them the contracts.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. So we are still left with 5 more minutes to end the session. Those who would like to ask some more questions from the founder, please raise your hands. And in the meantime, there is one question in the chat box asked by Mr. Piyush Jain. Okay, Piyush sir has raised in hands. So you can ask your question, which is sent in the chat box.
So my question is like, what is the ownership distribution among the founders? So that, there is clarity of purpose and, everybody works together basically.
So currently, we got your question, Piyush sir. So currently we are 2 founders. So, me and Rishabh. So it's been like, 50-50 split in both of us. And so that's the ownership distribution. But for others, we are having our, the founding team members, which we have shown into the screen. So we have our some, ESOPs pool, and we have some percentage of equity that is being defined after this funding is being done.
Okay. So like 90% is owned by 2 of you probably, and 10% is given as equity to other much less percentage.
So something around 10% will be 10 to 11% will be given into the founding team members.
Mr. Piyush, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that answered my
question. Thanks for your time, Piyush sir.
Okay, Dipendra sir, you have any follow-up question?
Yes, sorry, I missed one question. There was a mention, Sanjana, I don't know if it is from StartupLanes or from Quantel team. There's a mention that there's a 24% guaranteed return on the investment. If somebody can elaborate on this, maybe from StartupLane or Mr. Lucky.
Yes, for that we will be sharing the exit sheet with all the investors, and it would be explained with everyone.
Okay, all right. That's it. Yeah. Thanks.
Santosh sir, do you have any follow-up question?
Yeah, just one more. Lucky, what is the equity dilution that you're looking at with the 2 crore funding that you're looking for?
So we are looking at to raise around 25 CR pre-money valuation, sir.
Okay, so the dilution of your equity will be?
So dilution of the equity will be, I'll just have
8%, right? 2 CR over 25.
8%.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Lastly, we have Mr. Rahul Jindal. Sir, please come forward and ask your question.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, actually my question is in such a way that are you looking for another kind of co-founder who can contribute in your project? Means if any co-founder comes to you for means a kind of having a particular specialty in this domain, so are you open with it, or you means matlab ki bas you are just want to widespread your team, not for
again, so as founders we never restrict any quality talent coming to us. So it totally depends upon the acceptability rate among all the the board members that we have at Quantel. So you have to depends upon how quality work you can give to us, what are your backgrounds, what are your strengths, what are your expertise. So that can be one of the case, depends upon the credibility of the person, but we never we deny a quality talent.
Okay, got it. So actually, the thing is, what I want to talk you after the the session for some kind of a personal talks regarding this. Okay, thank you.
All right. So right, thank you so much everyone for attending this session. We have one more demo day session for Quantel today in the evening sharp at 8 p.m. So those who missed the morning session or the morning pitch given by Lucky sir can attend in the evening, and those who missed to ask questions from Lucky sir can ask in the evening session. The evening session has been organized for our angel investors based out in US and Canada. So Indian investors can also join in there, and everything will be explained all over again. So we'll be giving his pitch again, valuation and financial predictions will be explained again. So you all can join in the, and those invest the commitment already uploaded on our website page from where you have joined the session. You can fill up the commitment form and the finance team would connect with you and with Lucky sir for a one-on-one call by Monday. Thank you so much. Those who wish to join the evening, see you in the evening. Thank you so much. Lucky sir, would you like to give any thank you note?
Yeah, I would like to thanks everyone for giving your time, your valuable time for hearing about our startup. And if anyone wants to have any sorts of one-on-one discussion, I'll be happy to discuss things with one-on-one as well. And if it's something about an offline meet as well, if it's something related near to my location, I'll be happy for the offline visit as well. But yes, we are totally dedicated for working into this particular sector. And yes, if you're gonna join hands, I'll be happy to give you a warm welcome, and let's do something big into the mentoring side. Yeah. Thank you.
Or if you want to unmute yourself and ask the question.
So there's a question in chat box. How big is the cash flow problem in B2B here?
Okay, so I'll answer that particular question. So again, because currently we are dealing into B2B side, so the average time period for the organization to pay us the complete amount is something like around 40 to 45 days. That's the maximum time they take for that. So that's there into the cash flow problem, because as soon as they'll give us the amount, we gonna start with some other activities where we have to pay to our mentors. So that's what into the B2B business, you need to have a surplus of amount there into your bank to make sure you do a lot of engagements and make sure you spend amount by, because anyways in the starting we have to pay to our mentors some of the amount, because they need to initiate with the the engagement that we share with them. So that's what the ballgame is. And yes, we need a surplus amount there into the company to make sure that we do a big number of engagements as well into the upcoming months. And the problem is only there because in terms of time space, we have like around 45 days as the minimum time period that's been there, and that's extend up to max 60 days, but not above that.
Well, I hope that answers the investor's question. Thank you so much, Lucky sir, for answering. There is one more question in the chat box, and this has been asked by Mr. Tawfiq Qureshi, and he's asking that you are raising 2.25 CR. What will you do with this amount? And second question is, any angel investors till now?
Okay, so to answer your question, so yes, I have I actually answered that into the pitch deck as well. So in the pitch as well, I clearly explained that out of that complete amount of around 2 CR, majority of them will go for the marketing and for the tech expansion, because currently in marketing we have not spent a penny, which has already been explained by one of the investment persons as well into the StartupLanes team, that we have not spent that much amount into the marketing at this point of time. But yes, we want to expand ourselves into B2B and into the B2B2C as well, because B2B are already leading. For B2B2C, we want to have ourselves as a leading player, and for the customers part, you need to spend a bit of more money into the marketing. So for to acquire a good bunch of customers, for the acquisition of customer, majority of the payment will be for marketing, and for the tech, where we can have an automated system where we can have more of the client base, more of the projects to be handled at a similar point of time, because we need the technology to make sure we define the matchmaking process for the mentors and the complete automated process where the mentoring can take place. So both of the things are very vital for us, for our growth, for our scalability. And yes, for the cash flow as well, because depends, because as I told you that there is a decent time period of clients to pay. So we need to have some surplus amount as well. Sometimes a client pay for like within a week or so. Sometimes a client takes a bit of time. If it is a long like 3 months requirement, so it takes a bit of time to get a complete funds from that. So we need to have a decent amount in the company as well, which help us grow and expand our engagements with the other clients.
Thank you so much for answering that question. Mr. Tawfiq, I hope that answers your question. In case there is any follow-up question, kindly unmute or raise your hand so that you can ask. In the meantime, next question in the chat box we have from Mr. Sukhdeep Singh. What was your revenue in Jan to December 2022?
In the last year, so if I would be saying it to you for the last year, like 2022 so 2023, we had like around 1.5 1.6 CR for the complete closing. And yes, in the last year, like December 2022 or November 2022, we didn't have that much good monthly MRR. The monthly MRR was something like around 6 to 8 lakhs a month. So that was pretty less because we were not leveraging more into the mentoring side of, we are not leveraging our strategic, the programs that we have defined by ourselves by now. So at that point of time, we were focusing over the single level of engagements. So we are not there into the complete monthly or a dedicated month of mentorship models, which we are having by now, which have actually helped us to, develop a good revenue cycle on a monthly basis and actually have a good number of clients as well. And meanwhile, we can manage a bit of more clients on a daily basis. So that have actually helped. So this was a strategic, transaction that we have from like a single engagement model to a monthly and dedicatedly month-long engagement models. So yes, last year the monthly MRR was not that much, but yes, from the January start, we had like it continuous from January. It's January, February, March, April, May. It's continuous.
All right. So next question which we have is from Mr. Amit Kumar. Have any investor invested till now? If yes, how much? It is very difficult to judge from Jan 2023 as you have shown the financials. And can I know financials before Jan 2023?
Yeah, for before, which I was already saying, for the before one, we had like an average amount of like around 6 to 8 lakhs. So that can also be also be shared with you if you want. We can share those financials.
I want to add, this information will be shared after this meeting to all the investors. This was present in the financial projection, the audited MIS report.
Yeah, so that will be shared with all of you guys. And if there's anything else, I'll happy to answer.
Right. Thank you so much for answering the question. Amit sir, I hope it answers your question. Any follow-up question, please come forward and ask. Next, Mr. Sukhdeep Singh is again asking that what was initial valuation of your company?
Initial valuation. So currently, the structure of the company, the board resolution is like we have both of us are the 50% partners, me and my other fellow partner named Rishabh Garg. And rest we are having one person who have invested, where we have given 1% to that particular person. He's an angel investor. When we shifted ourselves from college time, like third year to, from when we finally started full-time working over the company in 2021, we need a bit of amount to have like office to hire some employees. So at that point of time, we have diluted 1% to an angel investor at a valuation of 6.5 CR. So that was like in 2021 when we are having like an average monthly revenue of like around 3 lakhs or 2.5 lakhs. So that was at that point of time. After then, we have not done anything. It's a completely bootstrap business. So it's been, we are having 50% share and 1% is, a complete total of 1% from both of our equities being shared with one of the angel investor.
Amit sir, I hope that answers your question. Any follow-up question, please come forward and ask. One more question in the chat box. Mr. Gaurav Verma is asking, what is the ratio of B2B versus B2C expansion revenue-wise in future?
Okay, so currently, to be honestly saying, it will be having a continuous graph. So the graph will be something like initially B2B will be way higher than the B2B2C amount. But as soon as the B2B, because B2B it's a seamless and a continuous growth, we'll be adding value, adding more and more of clients on a monthly basis, on a quarterly, on a yearly basis. But yes, the customer segment can be exponentially increased as soon as if I connected with one of the organization having thousands of students, one of the college having 800 students, one of the institutions having 500 students. So that can be a very exponential growth. So the graph will be very clear. So initially B2B will be much higher than the B2B2C, but as soon as our systems are very clear, our tech systems are defined, our marketing spend is good, we're gonna leverage B2B2C as well into the coming quarter, into the coming later quarter of this year, where B2B2C will exceed B2B as well into the coming quarters.
Okay, there are two more questions in the chat box by Aspire Investors. I feel they are my camera on while asking the so next question is asked by Mr. Sunil Amalraj, and he's asking that I got in late to the meeting, and his question is, how is the revenue recognized? Who are some of the highest paying customers they see by paying you for mentorship?
So okay, just to have a clarity, so he's asking for the highest paying client of Quantel, right?
Yes, he's basically asking that who are some of your highest paying customers, and I think he's trying to ask that what is the rate of recurring customers, and what is the value they see by paying you for mentorship.
Got it. So I'll answer your question completely, sir. So we are focusing. If I say you about the total number of clients, so we have like around 40 plus paid clients working with us by now, and out of this 40 plus, we have like a good bunch of high deep pocket clients as well. We have Physics Wala, we have an academy, we have other big institutes having like 500 to 600 CRs of turnover as well for working with us. So one of the highest client who is giving us a good amount is Physics Wala. So Physics Wala for the last quarter, January, February, March, they have paid us like around 6 to 7 lakhs on a monthly basis by taking our mentors for different sorts of requirements, different sorts of engagement for them. So Physics Wala I'll categorize into one of the highest paying client. And then there will be one of the institute who is there into the preparation for some other exam preparation institutes. So that's there into other Chandigarh city. So that is there into the second institute. The name of that institute is Sleepy Classes. And the third will be category will be other colleges and the other startups that we are working on. So these are the three categories. And if I would say about the quarterly amount, so on a quarterly basis, we can say that average on a quarterly basis, average a client pays us something around 4 to 5 lakhs. Average client. That's the amount we have from one of the client on a quarterly basis.
Right. So I hope
Lucky, thank you. Sorry, this is Sunil here. I was the one who asked the question. I can ask perhaps here directly.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Rahila, for that. So, I mean, you said Physics Wala is one of your customers, and then you had a couple of other customers who are giving you recurring revenue.
Yes.
And also the fact that over a quarter you have X number of revenue recognized.
Yeah, 4 to 5 lakhs of the revenue from like a complete quarter of 3 months. Average client pays to us. So for example, we are having like 35 lakhs MRR. So let's take an example, like total 3 months will be 90 lakhs. So average 5 lakhs a client is paying. So we can have a number of clients on a quarterly basis.
Okay. And you have about 40 paying customers?
Yeah, 40 plus.
And what's the expectation like going into the end of 2023 and 2024? What's that number going to look like?
So yeah,
with, let's say efforts into marketing, with efforts into sales, with efforts into technology, how much are you going to increase from the number of current customers from 40 to X number at the end of the year?
Yeah, truly. So Sunil, so that's actually been shown into the projections as well, that we're gonna have a good bunch of 3 figures number into the coming quarters as well. And we are planning to close this above 100, above 100 paid clients by, by this complete year end of 2024. So we're going to close that number as well in terms of client base. And yes, we're going to start with the B2B2C customers in the meanwhile of the upcoming 1 to 2 months only. We'll start capturing the B2B2C customers. That's not been, we cannot, have a initial number because we are working with the clients who are having Physics Wala have 10 to 15,000 of students who are there with them enrolled, because they work for the economies of scale. So I cannot define the number of customers that I'll be having after the launch of my product, but that will be definitely a very decent number. And yes, we're going to grow into very variety of numbers into the coming quarters as well in terms of B2B2C and in terms of B2B. B2B is one of the things where we are already taking a lead, Sunil sir, because we are there into this market. We are working it for the last 1.5 years. And it's actually helping us grow in a sustainable manner. But for the scalability purpose, we'll start entering into the B2B2C market as well. And we're going to have a decent bunch of 4 to 5,000 users by this 2020, minimum. That is what I'm expecting, 4 to 5,000 or like around 4 to 5,000 or around 8,000 by the 2024 starting quarter.
Okay, and what's the revenue that you will try to get from these end customers, or let's say individual B2C, because it's a B2C model now as opposed to B2B? What's the revenue that you would get from these individual entities?
So for this year, after the funding, I'm planning to close something around 10 CR or above 10 CR. I'm planning to close, and I'm having the purchase orders, and I'm having a lot of engagements planned into my mind in terms of reaching that particular MRR. Go-to-market strategies are already being done, and yes, I need that tech support, which I'm already building, which will be done in the upcoming 1 or 2 months if the required funds is there with our team, and we have the good team expansion. So out of this 10 plus CR that I'm saying for this year, so we'll be having a bunch of currently, because B2B2C will be growing, B2B2C will exceed the B2B, but yes, it will take time. The graph will be like slowly, and then it will go exponentially as we'll go into more on the customer perspective. But out of this 10 or 10 plus CR, I'm looking forward to have like 30-40% from this B2B2C.
Okay, and who are your competitors that you will be working with?
So Sunil sir, to be honestly saying, in B2B market, I am not having a competitor into the mentoring aspect. There is no competitor into the B2B aspect. But yes, when it comes to B2B2, when it comes to B2C, there are players like Preplace, which I have mentioned in the pitch deck. There are players like Expertrons, there are players like MentorCard, was there into the B2C market. But yes, it's very difficult. That's why I have started, I've pivoted myself into B2B and tried to mentor, like a 0.4-0.3 million of students by now, by just going into the B2B aspect. And that's actually helping us grow on a more scalable manner. And currently, I guess this is what helping us at this point of time as compared to the other competitors, because they're into B2B2, they're just into B2C, and we are having a B2B and B2B2C game, which is completely a different ballgame.
Okay, one last question. I know I kind of like went overboard in questions. What's the value that your customer gets, like a physics wala, for example, or if you're going B2C, what do they take away from these mentorships? I kind of got a little late into the meeting. I've seen a little bit of your and whatnot, but I'm trying to understand, what do they take away for which they basically are paying you money, which they probably could do by another method. They could probably do any other way. What is it that they have to really pay for and actually recognize that value?
To answer your question, I have a very clear straight answer, sir. So organization and individual both have the requirement to find the best suited mentors. For organization, they want to give it for their students who are enrolled for certain of their courses. For students, for the seeking of their growth, they require the best fit mentors for them. So now the current problem is, how do they verify the authenticity of the content they're sharing? There is no one to verify the content. They can either look for the mentors on LinkedIn, but how to verify the authenticity? There are hundreds of people who are working on Google, on LinkedIn. How to verify which one to connect and which one will give you the rightful authentic content, which can actually help you grow? So over there, Quantel comes in. We'll give you the authentic person, because we are already giving a lot of engagement to these person. We have the feedback mechanism system. We have their complete details. We even have their story as well. What was their story? The mentor who is, which I'm sharing with you for some sort of engagement, he was there from Tier 3 college. And if there is someone who is asking for a, mentorship as an individual, as an organization who's looking forward for people who are, for the students, mentorship for the students who's having a similar background story. So Quantel can connect that mentor very effectively. So the rightful authenticity is being matched by Quantel. The matchmaking, which is not being done by anyone, the rightful matchmaking by verifying the backgrounds, by verifying the story, by verifying the subcategories, it's been done by Quantel. The time frame management, which is one of the hardest thing where you have to manage the time frame of a mentor, because everyone is highly busy in India. Even if they're not doing anything, they are busy. That's what we say. So to manage the time frame, where this is the time frame availability for the mentor, where he can actually guide you and make sure everything is being progress tracked by one of the organization. So all these three things can only be managed when you're working very effectively and the execution is very clear. So that's there with Quantel. That's what we give to all of our clients: the accessibility, the authenticity of the content, the availability of timeframes, and to make sure that we have the complete progress track of all the things.
Okay, and when these entities basically get all of what you provide, what's the success of those individuals or those organizations? And if, let's say, they basically turn out to be successful, do you have a role in that? Meaning, do you have a part?
I have a very good story to tell, sir. So India, like if I say about the India's hardest exam, one of the hardest exam of India is UPSC. I might be possible you'll be knowing that. So do you know this exam, sir? So it's one of the hardest exam to crack in India. So that the name of that exam is UPSC. So we were so we were mentoring the students of UPSC this year, and we were mentored last year as well. This year, that the person who have cracked this exam and have actually got rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, all of the 4 are mentored candidate. What else I would say to you? One of the hardest exam are cracked by the Quantel mentored guy. And the rank 1, you can go to my YouTube channel, you can see my video with rank 1, where she's completely saying thanks for your support throughout the preparation. So that's level of mentorship that we do with the candidate. We are not giving them any sorts of faculty. We are giving the people who have actually cracked it, connecting them with IS, connecting them with IPS. So that level of mentorship that we have done. So we have a lot of case studies to show where we have actually given results to the organizations. And yes, we properly and proudly showcase it, where even the candidate, like it was like a B2B2C perspective, where we were mentoring institute candidate directly, where we are mentoring them with the IS and IPS, which are the requirement for the institute. Even the candidate knows that the high quality mentor is being shared by Quantel, which have actually helped me in my mock interviews, in my classes, in my preparation. So that's actually been one of our end goal. So it depends. So we do white labeling as well for some organization. We do clearly branding as well. So this was one of the case of our branding. So we can actually popularize it. We can actually proud to share it, and we have actually shared it as well in all of the handles. So it's one of the example in this particular domain. We have the other examples into the B2B startups domain as well, where one of our portfolio startup, which we have mentored into sales, have actually implemented in the sales revenue. We have a lot of students who have cracked the job. Even you can have above 2,000 students, minimum 2,000 students who have cracked the job by mentoring of Quantel. And we have like a written feedbacks as well. Written feedbacks for minimum 200, 500 students.
Okay, sounds good. Sorry, I said last question, but I'll ask one last question and I'll let the others ask the question. When you say your end customers, again, for example, you said UPSC exams and students mostly. Are these only students, or are they, let's say, aspiring individuals who require mentorship from industry experts?
These are aspiring individuals, Sunil. So these are aspiring individuals. We work with professionals. We mentor the employees. We mentor professionals. We mentor individuals. We mentor the organizations who look forward for the advisors. So mentoring is a different ballgame. So we're catering all of the market. But yes, you cannot be the player in all of the areas. You cannot lead in all of the areas. Slowly and steadily, we are leading in the areas. But yes, we are handling in all of these domains. So we are working with the employees, we are working with the professionals, we are helping them with the mentoring aspects. So that's there into the areas. And if you would be knowing, mentoring of employees, it's again a very, very big market. Very big market. If you can give the accessibility to a company, like you are having 300 employees. Out of these 300 employees, 100 employees are for sales. I'll give you a list of sales mentor, which will be accessible for like complete 3 months, which will be giving like minimum 1 hour of mentorship in 1 week to all of your employees. What if your sales employee doesn't have to connect with the manager at every point of time? They can connect with this mentor. They can share their problems. They can actually understand what exactly the problems I'm facing. What are the problems I face in those pipelines? How should I convert my leads? What about the talk time? What's any sorts of problem? Discuss it with the mentor who is actually cracked into that particular field. So that level of compatibility, we're gonna give it to the employees as well. So we're catering the areas slowly and steadily. So we are having few examples in these areas, but yes, we're gonna cater that as well, because that's also a very big market.
Fair enough. Thank you so much, Lucky. I mean, all good updates. Of course, I have a lot more questions, but I'll keep it for now. But I'll let the others, talk about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll be happy to answer any other questions left. I'll be happy to connect one-on-one. Thank you.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, Sunil sir, I think we'll be connecting with you on one-on-one call, and then we will connect you with Lucky sir for your further queries.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
So I think people are more interested to ask questions over the chat box. I would request everyone, please come forward and ask your questions, as this video would be going up on our YouTube channel. All right, so next question we have from Mr. Vishal Vidhute, and he is asking, for spending the money on marketing, is it impact immediate response on business, or the long run burn is like 1 or 2 years, 1 to 2 years?
So to answer your question, sir, because anyways, if he anyway wants to burn the money, we would have started with the burn model since the launch of our company only. So that's the vision of founder. We always want to build a sustainable business. The reason behind starting with the B2B2C as well, because now we are able to see a bit of organic demands into the B2B2C areas as well. So where you'll not be putting most of the marketing money into the cash burn model. Now you are being there into the market, you are being comfortable with the students, you are being comfortable with a lot of things. Now you can start catering that B2B2C market. It's the right time for us to enter into that, where your marketing spend will help you with the customer acquisition and not being just directly towards the burnout. Because if we want to do it, we would have just started from the day one only. Because B2B2C is a part of a scalability. Why would we have started with B2B? Because the only reason is we want to become comfortable. We want to run sustainably. We want to understand the market, understand the awareness that we are creating and the result that has been there showcased into the market. So this is the right time. And I guess the money will be spent moreover into the acquisition part. Burn will anyways, we have never thought of that particular burn because we always want to work sustainably. So that marketing spend will be very strategically into the different go-to-market strategies that we have prepared to make sure our business grow into, into 10 to 4 times. Yeah.
Thank you so much for answering it. Mr. Vishal, I hope that answers your question. Any follow-up, please come forward and ask. All right. So next question we have from
one answer, I guess Sunil sir have just said like coffee mug is a possible competition. So no, not exactly Sunil sir, because even coffee mug, I'm having a very, very good relations with coffee mug. They are a completely different ball game. They just have a connections with that particular person, like investors or any particular guy. They're catering, and even now they're pivoting themselves into the hiring structure of startups. So they are focused only towards startups and startups with the investment perspective and into the perspective of connecting them with the investors, giving them one-on-one discussions, but not there into the complete intensive mentoring, where they're having a different ball game of models of like 3 months, 6 month dedicated mentoring. They're just into the startups ball game, and definitely not a competition, because we are having a very healthy discussions. Not anyways my client, but yes, we share a very good bond. So I know what exactly in deep dive they are following. They are anyways right now developing a hiring model. So they're going into the hiring structure. Yeah, thanks.
Sunil sir is giving a thumbs up. Means he's satisfied with your answer.
Sure, thanks.
All right. So next we have multiple questions from one of our renowned investors, Mr. Giriraj Sharma. And he's asking that what is the current burn rate? Next, he is asking what is the timeline for the profitability?
So to answer the question, sir, because currently there is no burn rate. Quantel was profitable. I was not having a burn from day one. So there will be burn in some of the months coming, because we're going to start with the marketing as well. There will be a burn of 1 or 2 months or max for a quarter, but yes, not exceeding that. So we are not having a burn by now. We are profitable. We are having a decent profit.
Next, Mr. Giriraj Sharma is asking, please throw some light on your CAC and average ticket size per customer.
So that's what I was saying, sir. So let's take an example for a quarter. So for a quarter, average client pays me around 4 to 5 lakhs in a quarter. So I have like about 40 plus clients who are working with me. In a quarter, average client pays me like around 4 to 5 lakhs. And then the things ball games goes on for the upcoming quarters as well. But the average amount is this much.
Next, he is asking that what is the difference between gross margin versus your net margin?
So yeah, the gross margin is there. We are having like around 60% of the gross margin, 61%. Out of the 61%, we we go for the operations, and the other aspect, we deduct the GST, we deduct the operations and the marketing spend. So that's come down to the net revenue, where we have deducted all the operations and the internal costs that we have put in to find that particular MRR. So that's basically the difference. So the gross margin is around 61%, but the net margin is 25%, sir. 24-25%.
Please throw some light on your CAC.
So I'm not able to hear that.
Customer
CAC. I was hearing CC or something. Customer acquisition cost will be something around 8 to 10,000, sir. For getting one client, we pay, we spend something around 8 to 10,000 to get one client.
Mr. Giriraj, I hope this answers all your questions.
And this 8 to 10,000 is also for somewhere related to the operational salary, nothing else. In sort of marketing, we spend 8 to 10,000 into marketing. It's more of a operational salary, which I'm giving to the.
Okay. Mr. Giriraj Sharma is writing thanks. So he's satisfied with the answers. Any follow-up question, please come forward and ask. And the next question we have from Mr. Sukhdeep Singh again. What is the cost of your services?
So we have different types of engagements, sir. So we provide mentors for their mock interviews. We provide mentors for their online, offline sessions. We provide mentors for their workshops. We provide mentors for their, in terms of, having one-on-one interaction with their students for the mentorship purpose. So there are different ball of, mentorship engagements that we offer. And for different engagements, we have different prices. So let's take an average example. Like, for example, I was saying about my highest paying client, Physics Wala. So Physics Wala currently have taken around 5 to 8 experts for this particular today basis. So let's take an example. Average for one of the mentor for a daily basis, they pay me like around 18 to 20,000 a mentor a day. So that depends. The whole game for the daily revenue can be counted on a 20,000 into 5 times. So that's the revenue for the specifically saying for the government offices. But when it comes down to the corporate employees, like the corporate guys who are there into the corporates, who are the CEO, CXOs, and another one, then the pricing may decrease up to 8 to 10,000. That can be the game. Yeah. So,
Mr. Sudeep, I hope that answers your question. Any follow-up question, please come forward and ask.
Yeah. So so the engagements are different. There are different sorts of engagements, but anyways, the pricing structure is daily, monthly charges. Daily is something around 20,000 for the government officer segment and around 10,000 for the corporate employees. And monthly can be something around 35, 40,000, depends upon the number of fixed hours that we are offering on a monthly basis.
All right. So Mr. Sunil is again asking that the total number of investors, your total number of investors, and what have been their average success?
So currently we were bootstrapped from the starting. So we just have one investor when we were leaving the college and starting with a full-fledged startup, just to have a bit of the money to hire few of the employees or interns or have an office space. We had like around 6.5 lakhs in just the starting in 2021. After then, we have not raised any sorts of money. It was completely bootstrapped. Even that money was there into the, the office space and the employees hiring only. So rest of everything has been there bootstrapped, and none of the other investors we have. But yes, for this particular round at this 25 CR valuation, that investor is gonna look, is looking forward to invest again because he have seen our growth. So we already have the term sheet signed for that investor again for this particular round.
All right, so questions are over in the chat box. Anyone else who would like to ask questions, please come forward and ask so that, Mr. Lucky can answer. And we'll wait for 2 more minutes before we end the session. Any further more questions? All right, I think there are no more questions till now. Maybe if they would like to ask questions with you over one-on-one call. So sure. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this event. And we would be sharing the recording of this event by Monday evening, most probably. So those who are interested to invest in Quantel, the commitment form has already been uploaded on our website page from where you have joined. And you all can fill up that commitment form, and while the recording is getting processed, our team would connect with you and ask your queries, and then accordingly connect you with Mr. Lucky for all the further discussions. Please take a note that the minimum ticket size to invest in Quantel is 2 lakh rupees. All the documents will be shared with the right? And we will connect with the founder for all the further discussion. And after that, term sheet would be shared, share allotment would be done. And one more important point I would like to tell the investors for your assurance that StartupLanes has now started to register the valuation of the startup with the government through IBPR. So you all can stay assured that your investments will be safe enough. So for further queries, our team will connect with you. You all can ask them, and if required, our senior management will also come to clarify your queries. Thank you so much for attending this event. We would be connecting with everyone on Monday. Lucky sir, any thank you note?
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for your valuable time. I'm very privileged to discuss about my startup to everyone at this particular meet. And if you guys have any sorts of question, I guess Sanjana have already cleared. I'll be happy to have a one-on-one discussion with all of you, and would be able to clarify all of your doubts on a clear one-on-one discussion basis. And I'll be happy if you join hands with us into this revolutionizing mentoring industry. And we'll try our utmost effort and dedication to prove ourselves right and what exactly which we are delivering by ourselves. So that will be, something good into the upcoming years as well. And we promise to stay by our words and make sure that we deliver the, up to our highest capability in terms of, the mentoring industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Lucky sir.
Thank you. Thank you.